Lance Meadow with you here on GoColumbiaLions.com. I'm now joined by head coach Al Bagnoli as his team won its regular season opener 38-3. Coach, we talked earlier in the week, things you were looking for out of your team, the cleanliness of the play. What did you think overall in terms of coming out of this impressive victory?
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of good things. We were able to get a lot of different players in the game in meaningful situations, which is going to bode well for us, down the road. We're constantly trying to develop depth and just trying to get kids comfortable in game scenarios. And we went in with some major question marks, and they got answered pretty well. So, for example, it was the first time the two punters, Donovan and Burt, actually ever punted in a varsity game, for example. And first time that Carter McFadden ever caught a punt in a varsity game. And I thought those guys acquitted themselves well. First time we've had some, young defensive backs out there, and I thought they acquitted themselves well. Same thing with young defensive linemen, a couple of those offensive guys that really haven't had much. So it bode well that we got him in. We got him in meaningful situations where we were able to run an offense. So we got Caden a lot of work, and we didn't have to just hand the ball off, which I think, again, will help us down the road. And the kids that we thought, should play well based on their past, I thought played pretty well. So if you look at first game performance on offense with the quarterback, I thought the running backs did a really nice job, even though they're inexperienced, but they did a nice job. And, defensively, I thought those guys played really solid. And I thought special teams-wise, Falcons did what you think he should do. So, he kind of missed the chip shot and hit the 53-yarder. But, my point is we expect him to play at a certain level. And for the most part, the Moyers, the Valentes, those guys on defense, for example, in our offensive line, that's pretty experienced. Joe Green at quarterback and, played the way you want him to play for the majority of the game. Now, we still got a lot of things we have to clean up, and we obviously scored 31 in the first half, and, we only scored 7 in the second, and that was by defense. So we obviously got to get more consistent. But for week one, first time out there, I like to think we've accomplished a lot and took the necessary steps.
Speaking of the defense, you hold an opponent out of the end zone, which is quite impressive considering you had not played a game yet. Brian Bell Anderson with the pick six that you were referring to. What does that say about that side of the ball?
Well, again, they were young. And we had a lot of moving parts. So it was a different defensive staff, a lot of different guys, especially on that second unit that you're rotating through. And it was good to see they held up. And I think that's what you're trying to figure out is, in a perfect world, you want to be able to get 7, 8 defensive linemen in the game during the course of a game and them all be effective. You want to play, 3, 4 linebackers. You want to play 7 or 8 defensive backs to take some stress off of them. And it's the same thing on offense. So, we're trying to do that. We'll have to watch film to see exactly how well we did it. But from the naked eye, they held up pretty well. And I thought they did a nice job, especially considering how young they are and how little game experience any of them really had.
The rushing attack was such a big part of the identity of this team last season. You get over 200 rushing yards as a team. When you click like that, what do you think the ceiling potentially could be for this offense?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical that we remain balanced, and again, that's obviously starts with your kids up front and the tight ends, but if you could effectively run the ball, you can kind of throw the ball off of play action. You can throw the ball in non-predictable situations where you want to try to throw the ball, and you can take some vertical shots if you're, 2nd and 3. And so it allows you to open up your playbook quite a bit. But again, the kids that we felt had to play well because they've been in games, they're older kids, is that O-line, that tight end combination. We felt good about our running back situation. Joey George has had a fabulous, preseason, and Tyson Edwards, has played some last year, and we were excited to see what Malcolm Perry could do with the transfer. And so we didn't feel compelled to dress Ryan. He's just coming off of a minor tweak. So it was good to see what those guys could do, and they acquitted themselves really well. So if you could be balanced, we can continually dictate down and distance. It's going to help you offensively, obviously.
Coach, congratulations on a very impressive start.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, Lance.
You got it. Al Bagnoli with us here on GoColumbiaLions.com as Columbia beats Marist 38-3 in the 2022 opener.